For our project, Influences, Deaths, and Mediums of Renowned Artists, we wanted to answer 3 questions. How do artistic influences transcend time and location? How true is a stereotype of the tortured artist with a tragic death? And how do the prevalence of different artistic mediums change over time? On the top of the influences page, we have a network chart displaying the influences among artists. An artist with a red circle has an interesting tidbit of information about them. For example, if we hover over Frida Kahlo, we can see that she was one of the first female artists to sign her artwork using her name, as she wasn't afraid of the negative gender bias in her life. You may have noticed how the matrix chart on the lower left corner of the screen highlights as we hover over artists. We can go directly there and filter the network view. You can see artists highlighted on the network as we hover over tabs on the top and left sides. The matrix is sorted alphabetically by first name, but you can click on the sorting buttons to change that. If we click on descending for influencers and influencees, we can see how the relationships concentrate on the top left corner. One interesting aspect is how the influences spread wider due to new technologies over time. If we click on Lorenzo Ghiberti, we can see on the map that the artists he influenced were near him. As we hover over the influencees on the map, we can see how all of them are from the 14th and 15th centuries. Now if we click on Michelangelo, who is 1 degree of influence away from Lorenzo, we can see his influences were close to him. But he was such a big artist that he inspired people all the way in Germany with Peter Paul Rubens in the 16th century. Switching to the Mediums tab, you may notice how apparent the purple arc is on the chord chart. By hovering over it, we can see that this encodes artistic medium. That follows, as painting is obviously one of the most commonly used mediums. The Death tab has another chord chart and a scatter plot. This view depicts means of death for the artist, and of course, still alive is not actually a cause of death, but we wanted to show that not all of our artists are dead. As we hover over centuries, we can see that the scatter plot highlights to artists of that century. Clicking on the 15th century, the scatter plot actually zooms in to only show that time span. We can also hover over the dots to get general information and tidbits. Here we notice that, according to legend, Masaccio was poisoned by a jealous rival.